Hello and welcome to Padai on YouTube channel. This is for the class 10th, chapter 1st for the social science heritage of India. Right, India has got a vast ancient culture and scriptures available. Now, in this book, there says Uttaram Yasya Samudrasya Himad Vaishcheva Dakshinam Varsha Tad Bharatam Nama Bharati Yatra Sansati. It means that Indian extend from the Himalaya in north to the Indian Oceans in the south. It is said that new descendants are called Indians. In the beginning of the auspicious ceremony, Bharat Varsha, Bharat Khanda, Jambudvipa, and Aryavrata, etc. These are all the words used for when they talk about the India. Taking resolutions over a country is gifted with the natural boundaries Himalaya in the north and sea in the east, west and south. From all over the world, different countries mesmerized by the Indian prosperity and came to trade, settled and mingled with the Indian culture. Due to mutual exchange, many changes have been seen in our culture. In this way, our heritage is transferred from the generation to generation and it is continuously progressing. Just because of India's prosperity, many people from all around the world came to India and mixed with the Indian culture. Indian location and area. So we have already studied in class 9 that the present area of location of India, it is very vast in ancient time, and now area wise it stands on the 7th rank and the population wise on the second, right? So this is the Indian location wise. India is the 7th, and population wise India on the second highest. The first one is China. Rich and varied heritage. Our motherland has bestowed rich and varied heritage to us, so as to the world. Indian culture have been trade-oriented people, trade-oriented and peace-loving. Sat, Chit, and Anand are realized from Indian culture. Beside this, Indian culture prospered with the manual mutual exchange of different culture of other countries which came to India and settled here. They have accepted the values of nonviolence and peace, which have been adopted and admired by the world. People, right from the beginning of the Indus Valley civilization till today, have made our country rich and wealthy with their intellectuality, ability, talent, and skill. Innumerable scholars, thinkers, artists, saints, scientists, and historians have contributed to the growth and development of our culture. Culture is a sum of habits, values, customs, tradition, conducts of lifestyle of the human. Right? So they could ask you the definition: what is the culture? And culture is the sum of all this. Further, it says how we were rich in our heritage, right? We do have the best scholars, thinkers, artists in the history. Meaning of culture. Culture means a way of life. The way people live is known as the culture. It is made of change that occurs in public life, social rules and regulations of a different society. It can be said that culture is a total of habit, value, customs, traditions, and ideal leading human to the highest level. So, cultural heritage of India. Heritage means the valuable gift from our forefathers to give it to us. So, ancient people giving us in our and that we are following right now, which is known as the culture, the way of life. Indian history is thousands of years old. We say in the school pledge, I love my country and I'm proud of its rich and varied heritage. In this context, heritage is a precious gift from the motherland to the world. About mysteries of a human life, we divide our heritage into two divisions: the natural heritage of India and the cultural heritage of India. Natural heritage of India, of course, it's talk about the environment, human life, and the natural resources that around us. The result of close relationship between the nature, environment, and human life is a natural heritage. Natural heritage of India is a unique and varied. It includes a feature like mountains, forests, desert, rivers, streams, seas, trees, plants, creepers, flowers, leaves, insect, varied landscape, wide range of minerals, vegetation, plant, and animals. So this all includes in the natural heritage. We are the children of nature, so it has made a beautiful arrangement of our food, water, fresh air, dwellings to create our all needs. We treat nature with respect and faith. The example of our close relations with the nature are stories of a Panchatantra and Jataka tales of Buddhist religions. Our classical and folk music and several ranges are based on the Prahar. Similarly, Ayurveda, Unani, nature cure are also totally based on a nature, right? So what we have talked here is all our natural heritage. Let's first talk about the landscape. So beautiful landscapes are generally formed due to the different shape of land. For example, the Himalaya is a landscape. It has endowed India abundantly with useful vegetation and minerals. Strange birds, animals, and mountain peak covered with the snow. Brimming rivers are the gift of Himalaya. Forest of Tarai and its pilgrimage places, for example, Amarnath, Badrinath, Kedarnath, and Summit, like Nanda Devi, are in the Himalayas. Since the ancient time, Himalaya has a great importance for the Indian. So, landscape is a place where it has its own beauty, like a Himalaya, and importance. Rivers, if we talk about the river, have been providing a natural ways since ancient times. Indian culture has flourished on the river bank of the Indus and the Ravi. The rivers like the Ganga, the Yamuna, the Saraswati, the Indus and the Narmada, the Godavari and the Krishna, etc., have profoundly influenced the people of India. Rivers are the source of drinking water, domestic use, irrigation, electricity, and waterways. Besides, the men was depend on the river, developed the industries of clay, utensils, plastering, and building of houses. Rivers water River water has made human life beautiful and prosperous. Landscape scenes at the dawn and at dusk are very fascinating on the side of the river. These are a source of inspirations for artists and have enriched the lives of people by developing the aesthetic sense. So rivers play a very important part or role in our life. Vegetations, people of India are environment lovers. Since ancient time, its proof is their love and affection towards flowers and shrubs and plants. Humans, animals, birds, etc. are depend on the trees for their food. Banyan and peepal tree and basil are worshipped in India. Cereals, pulses, oilseeds, plants, green fields, prosperous herbs, packed forests, and medicinal plants have ultra enriched our life from ancient time. Herde, amla, behra, aloe vera, ardusi, neem, etc. medicines and flowers like a rose, lotus, mogra, damaro, sunflower, champa, jui, jasmine, etc., have made a human life very beautiful, fragrant, healthy, and prosperous. Thus, social and religious life of India is greatly influenced by the vegetations. So we almost praying the plants like a peepal and banyan tree. We do worship definitely for them. The other very useful medicinal plants are helpful to keep us fit and healthy in our society. Next, the wildlife. India is a natural lover. Since ancient times, it is a country with an animal lover culture. Tiger, lion, elephant, rhino, foxes, bear, deer, sambar, rabbit, python, snakes, mongoose, lizard, porcupine, like many such organisms are found and seen in India. Asian lions in the world are found only in the Gir forest of Gujarat. Our religious belief has given a state of a good god goddess vehicles to some of the wild animals like tigers, peacock, alligators, eagles, etc. Our national currency is highly valued by having the figure of four lions, horse, and a bull. Furthermore, to protect the wildlife, reserves are created, and even the laws for the protections of their life have been enacted. Right, so we are taking a good care of wildlife in our country by providing a reservoir places for them and making a law for them. Further, we put them on our currencies and on national emblems. Culture heritage of India. Now, India has gifted to the world a diverse and rich heritage. Cultural heritage is man-made heritage. Whatever is received or created by human with this hack, tact, wisdom, art, and skill is called a cultural heritage. Starting from Arya, Kshatrap, Kushan, Huns, Persian, Turk, Arab, Mughal, Britishers, French, etc. Caste and tribe have came to India. Indian culture from the exchange between all this has become rich, right? So those who came to India make the culture more and more rich over a period of time. The people of India from the prehistoric period have contributed to the people of the world. The art of architecture and sculpture are 5,000 years old. The remains of Indus Valley civilization is the evidence of this. On seeing the remaining of the figure of God, goddess, humans, animal, and several toys, as well as sculpture of a bearded man and the statue of a dancer, one feels self-esteem and the pride in our cultural heritage, right? So those who are see the sculptures and architectures of India that is so much rich 5,000 years ago. The evidence found in Indus Valley civilizations make us feel esteemed and pride about our culture. Further, when we look at the figure of a block or a lion on the inverted lotus of a Mauryan era, the statue of Gautam Buddha in a meditative form, or the Kalkhand statue of a Jain Tirthakaras, the caves of Ellora of Rashtrakuta dynasties, etc. By seeing this heritage, we feel a proud, glad, and also respect for our cultural heritage. Our cultural heritage accommodates places, buildings, sculptures, stupas, viharas, chaitya, temples, mosques, tombs, forts, and gates. Even historical places of our freedom movement like a Sabarmati Ashram, Dandi, Bardoli, Varda, Santiniketan, Kolkata, Delhi, etc. can also be considered as a part of our cultural heritage. Beside the language, script, discovery of zero, mathematics, calendar, astronomy, iron, literature, religion, Yuddha Shastra, Chariot, political science, geology, botany, Vastu Shastra, religion, republic, judiciary, legislations, environment protection, etc., are the important discoveries of India. So you must be amazed by this much of discoveries taken place in India, and that makes our cultural heritage more richer. The cultural heritage of Gujarat. The place having a cultural, legendary, and archaeological importance are Lothal, Dholka Taluka, Rangpur, Limbadi Taluka in Surendranagar, and Dholavira in the Kutch districts, Rosdi or Srinagar in Rajkot, etc. The place of pilgrimage are Victory Tower of the Varnagar, stone inscriptions of King Asoka at Junagadh, Sun Temple of Modera, Gate of Champaran, Rudra Mahalaya of Siddhpur, Mansar Lake of Viramgam, and Jama Masjid of Ahmedabad. Julta Minara, Siddhi Sayyad Nijali, Temple of Hat Singh, Shastra Linga, Lake of Patana, Raj Mahal of Vadodara, and Tomb of Mahabat Khan, Parsi Agyari of Navsari are all the worth seeing places in Gujarat. Places have religious importance are Dwarkadish Temple of Dwarka, Sharad Peeth of Jagadguru Shankaracharya, Somnath Temple of one of the 12 Jyotirlinga, Ambaji in the North Gujarat, Bahucharaji and Ranchodri Temple, Dakor, Kheda districts, and Shamlaji in Arvalia district, etc. These are the very well-known places, in religious places and important places to visit in Gujarat. Well-known religious, social, and tourism-oriented places in Gujarat are Polo Forest, Vijayanagar, Kite Festival, Kankaria Carnival, and Tanariri festivals of Northern Dance Festivals of Modera, Ranotsav in Kutch, etc. Tourist places of a Jain and Buddhist, so Jain and the Buddhist religious prevailing in India constantly. Jain and Buddhism caves are seen various places in Gujarat, Vadnagar, Taranga, Khambhadia, Sambhaji, Koteshwar, Talara, Dhank, and Jagadyari. Fairs of Gujarat. So there are various fairs that we do celebrate in India, in Gujarat. Varied cultures of Gujarat is seen in many places, hence the fairs have the traditionally religious and social importance are held. Some of the important fairs among this given Modera Fair, Bahucharaji, Samraji, Badaviam Punam, Bhavnath Mahadev Tarnetar Fair. All these listed fairs are very important and they are celebrated throughout the years. You could just write down this whole fairs and make a list of it. Make sure that they are there in the MCQ, so you should remember this. Indian land and the people. Primitive bands came into existence simultaneously in India and eastern South America. Mesmerized by the various and prosperous heritage, many foreigner tribes came to India. Consequently, the remains of the old tribes are found here. The Dravidians were considered to be the most ancient people of India, but the modern researchers of linguistics and the anthropology have proved that even before the Dravidians, six more tribes came and settled down in India. Let us explore them one by one. Negriote, Sohabzi people. Some historians believe that the Negrite of Negros are the most ancient inhabitants of India. They came from Africa via Baluchistan to India. They were black, having a height of 4 to 5 feet and curly hairs. Then after comes the Asteroid or Nishad people. These people of this tribe came from Southeast Asia. Their physical features were black skin and a broad head, flat nose, short in height, etc. The Aryan who came later onto the India are called them Nishad. The origin of the tribes like a Kol and Munda, Khasi tribes of Assam. The tribes of Nicobar and Myanmar have similarities to these asteroids. Their contribution in the development of Indian culture and civilization is immense. They made clay utensils, wore cotton clothes, and knew many other skills. They had a great religious belief too. So you can imagine those people who come from the different part, they do not just come as it is, but they bring the skills they do and utilized and spread it across the regions. Then after comes the Dravidians. Originally, Dravidians belonged to India. They were the direct descendants of the Stone Age civilization and creator of Mohenjo-daro culture. Their tribes which came from the north survived with their language and cultural features. Later on, they were only called as the Dravidians. Dravidians gave the concept of mother as a goddess and a father as a god. So the thought of Parvati and Shiva as a mother and father developed. Moreover, the tradition of the worship nature is the gift of the Dravidians. The tradition of worship with the Dhup, incense, Deep, and Aarti are considered to be the deities of the Dravidians, have been accepted by Aryans, and were re-established by them as a god of culture with the pace of time. Under the tremendous influence of a northern Aryan culture was deeply internalized by the Dravidians. Hence, intercaste marriage took place, and Dravidian had a matriarchal system of family, dying, etc. So Dravidian progressed a lot in different crafts and art like a building of a boat and raft, weaving, spinning, dyeing, etc. Due to the dominions of the Aryans, they shifted to the South India and settled there. As a result, today we can see the people speaking Dravidian family language like a Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, etc. and Malayalam are in South India. Apart from these, the other tribes, Mongoloid, Alpine, Dinaric, and Armenoid tribe were also there in India. Mongoloid, they came to India from North China via Tibet and settled down at the North Assam, Sikkim, Bhutan, West Bengal, etc. They gradually Indianized themselves. Mongolian people possess the physical characteristic like a yellow complexion, flat face, chubby cheeks, and almond-shaped eyes. Having a yellow complexions, Mongoloids were known as a Kirat. You must remember about all these people because they are going to ask you all the details of a different kind of peoples. Alpine, Dinaric, and Armenoid. The people migrated from Central Asia, all these three tribes having a similarities. The origin of these tribes are found in a large number in Gujarat, Saurashtra, Maharashtra, Bengal, and Odisha. Formerly it's known as Orissa. The Aryans. The Nordic Aryans were the creator of the Aryan civilization in India. Hindus were called Aryans in ancient time, and where they were densely populated was called Aryavrata. As the seven rivers were flowing over there, the region was named from Saptasindhu in the ancient time. The first Aryan population was concentrated in the northwest. The area of Aryavata was extended up to the Mithila, Bihar in the east. In south, it spread up to the Vindhyachal during the post-Vedic period. They were more advanced people than any other contemporary tribes, or means the tribes that were survived at that same particular time. This vast land was recognized with the various names as a Bharata Bhumi, Bharat Khanda, Bharatvarsha, etc. after the name of the king, Arya Bharat or Bharat Kul tribe. Arya were natural lovers. They loved and worshipped the trees, river, mountain, the sun, the wind, and the rain. They had composed a rhyme of praying to a various natural element. In due course of the time, some religious ceremonies like recitations of Vedas, performing yoga, yagyas, and other activities become prevalent in India. There was a fine amalgamation of those tribes with their specific style of living, and harmonious culture was formed, which gave India a glorious and prosperous heritage. These foreigners and Indian tribes amalgamate in such a way that over the period of time that they lost their individual identity through the intercaste marriages. Outsiders and local peoples were greatly influenced by the language, script, name, and religious belief, etc., played a vital role in the Indianizing these foreigners. Since the ancient time, a composite culture has been created in India. They all become Indians. In short, in ancient India, the amalgamation of various culture enriched Indian culture by making it variegated and prosperous. So you can imagine that different caste, origin, and the foreigners are mixed with each other and generated this prosperous culture for India. Preservation and conservation of the heritage. Each aspect of Indian heritage made Indian eye-catching, picturesque, and attractive. Heritage brought glory to the nation. India attained a leading position in the world by keeping its rich heritage protected and preserved. Thus, it's a primary and precious duty of every citizen of India to see that nobody harms the ancient memorials, and also to preserve the place having a historical importance and value. In our culture, in our constitution, the fundamental duties of Indian citizens are mentioned in Article 51 in the 6, 7, and 9. Describe the following duties for the preservation of culture heritage. They are given below. So you must remember this section articles that were include the preservation and the protections of our cultural heritage. To understand the importance of our harmonious culture, prosperity, and to preserve it, maintain the forest, tanks, rivers, ponds, and the wildlife and birds, along with maintaining the natural environment, and to show compassion for all the living creatures. The protections of public property and giving up of violence are also included in it. Thus, the nature has created a beautiful landscape. We should maintain the purity, sanity, and the beauty of this place, considering it be to our moral duty. The Indian heritage is an outcome of the development of people of India over a long period of time. Nature has generous donated abundant prosperity to India. Indian achieved invaluable opportunities in all the fields for a gradual development due to India's peculiar natural structure. In this way, the Indian heritage is a result of development of the people of India in the social and economical, political, and cultural field over centuries. So just go through it. That's the end of the chapter.